I am currently updating, redesigning, and renovating our old Dutch farmhouse, and in this video I am revisiting a makeover that I did last year. I will be creating a beautiful hallway. I'm going to be talking to you from my kitchen most of the time because it is incredibly echoey in the hallway, and I won't do that to you. I'm going to try and do voiceovers mostly when I'm working in the hallway, and then whenever I want to say something I will have to move to the kitchen, which is already echoey enough, by the way. Anyway, last year I did a makeover on our hallway, and I don't like it anymore. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I made a dark gallery wall right there, and although I really like the idea of it, I used very warm colors because that's what I do throughout the entire house, and it just doesn't match very well with the very cool tone floor. And I don't want to get rid of those tiles because I really like them. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to lean into that a little and work with some cooler tones in this hallway, or at least a cooler white and maybe a blue. Let me show you what I have in mind. These are some of the inspiration pictures I have found on Pinterest, and I really like the dark but warm blue on the walls, but the hallway is a pretty dark place without proper windows, so I would like to bring in some brighter whites as well. I will focus on this part of the hallway first, which is the part that I redid last year. I am thinking of separating the bottom half of the wall with picture frame molding details, and then painting that bottom half the dark blue that is in the tiles. Then I will also paint the baseboards and the trim around all the doors that color, and I don't know for sure if I want to paint the doors as well. I will simply have to see as I go. I plan on leaving the left wall pretty neutral as I don't want it to become too busy. And then somewhere along the way I will make a decision about the rest of the hallway. But first, let's start with removing everything that is there now. You know, I always say that you have to test your paint on your walls first and then live with it for a while. I'm going to do half of that. I am going to try these colors out. So I've got 3 different whites and 2 different blues. However, I'm not going to be waiting very long because there's not really any daylight in that hallway anyway. So I'm just going to work with the lights that we have. So I will probably very quickly be able to see which color works and which will not. Let's see. I'll put them on in alphabetical order so I know which one is which. Okay, for the white I have made a decision. I think it's going to be oyster. That is the warmest color of the cool whites. I think that is gonna look really good with the tiles and still give a really warm vibe. But for the blue, I'm not sure. I don't like them very much. They are too blue, both of them. I like the lighter version better than the darker one, but it's still too saturated. So I'm gonna go back to the store and get another sample of the blue, but I will do that later today. I'm gonna start by priming everything, and then I'll do that test later. And thus began a weekend full of sanding walls and trim, priming everything, putting on several layers of the new colors. It is a big hallway, so it's gonna take me a while. I actually took a big chunk of the weekend to get as far as I could. So I quickly ran out and I got a new sample for the blue, and I think we got the right one now. So it's not dry yet though, but it looks a lot better. This is more what I was going for, so like a desaturated grayish blue. I taped the dimensions of the picture frame molding onto the wall so that I would know how wide to make them and what it would look like. And then while I was painting that wall in that oyster color, I realized I didn't like the color. It was too yellow, especially next to the blue, so I made a 50-50 mix of this color with a pure white, put it in an IKEA planter and used that instead. And that looked much better. So this is by no means a small project. This hallway is pretty big. It has a lot of walls with a lot of baseboards and a lot of doors with a lot of trim. And so I spent a very big chunk of my weekend preparing everything, sanding the walls, cleaning, priming everything, then painting all of it, sometimes 2 layers or 3 layers. And so now it's Wednesday and I finished most of the walls and most of the trim. And now I think I can make a decision on that wall because I didn't do the blue on this one and I don't like it that way. I think it will be prettier if I do the half blue wall there as well. For now, I am going to start with the picture frame molding on this wall because it would be really nice to have something finished. And then I will move back to that one and do the blue on that wall as well. I'm gonna go into the garage and cut the pieces for the picture frame molding, and then I will stick them to the wall.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
For the wall molding, I chose a fairly simple decorative trim. This is a very, very easy project to do, especially once you get the hang of it. I recommend using a stop block for your saw to make sure that the pieces that have to be the same size are actually the same size. I just clamped some wood onto my workbench to do this. And then I put some adhesive to the back of the pieces to easily stick them onto the wall. And then in places where the wood didn't stick to the wall properly, I used a nail gun to secure it. I am not using a level. Some people use a level. I don't do that because I am not completely confident that this floor is completely straight. If I would use a level and the floor is crooked, then it's only going to accentuate it.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I
So like me.
figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
Then, to create an extra professional finish, I caulked all the edges and the places where the pieces connected and made it all smooth with my finger before painting everything one more time.
Down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
I have painted the trim blue here as well, and on this side too, and then here I have decided not to do that. So I am actually going to leave this door neutral and then the doors on this side as well, because I just think I like it. I like the brightness and the neutral color, and I just don't really like the blue trim with the all white walls. I painted the blue on the other wall as well, but before I could put up the molding there, I had to go to the store to get more trim. So I didn't have enough picture frame molding because the store that I went to actually didn't have enough. So I went to a different store to get more, and I bought everything they had. I bought all of them. These are 10 pieces. I'm actually a little disappointed that they only had 10. So the plan for now is I'm going to finish this part of the hallway. I'm very, very sorry. I'm gonna have to split this up into multiple parts because it's just too much. The hallway is too big to finish in 1 week. So I'm gonna finish this section, this side, and then next week I will finish that side and everything else. There's a lot to do. I'm going to quickly cut everything and put those squares on, and then I'm gonna finish the railing on the other side, and then I'm gonna do something with this door. Originally, I had planned to paint the doors blue as well, but now I am not so sure. I do know that the color that is on the doors right now is not very pretty. I also decided to do the picture frame molding on this door as well, just to make it look a little bit more traditional. I will then paint that door that creamy white that I've also used in the bedroom, and that is on all the other doors in the house. And then I'll do the same on the other two doors. This was a very hard project to make interesting for you guys. It was just a lot of painting, a lot of sanding, a lot of the same things for 100,000 walls. So I am very happy that at least that part of everything has been done. I am really happy with how it turned out. It is looking a lot better than it did before. The hallway was actually a really big eyesore for me that I had to walk through every day. If you remember the original makeover of this hallway, you would know that I never quite figured out what to do with this wall, and I still haven't. So I left it empty. I think it will work. I think there's enough happening on that wall, so we can just leave it empty. It's okay. And maybe someday I will get some kind of epiphany and know what to put on that wall. I did put up 2 beautiful prints here that I found on Etsy. And as I said before, I will not be able to finish this entire hallway this week. So next week, I'm going to focus on the other half. I am going to continue this blue on this wall and around the corner. So there is enough to be done on that side. I also want to make something pretty at the end of the hallway where the window is. So plenty to do in next week's video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope to see you next week.